shorter vid today because frankly, I'm wanting to go play the new Avatar set on Arena. The cards look sick, and with every new set of actually good cards comes plenty of new brews. So let's spend a minute to look at 3 new brews by yours truly that I'll be playing on day 1 in Mythic Top 2000 ladder. In the interest of keeping this vid as concise and helpful as possible, I'll be giving a quick primer of the deck, what it wants to do, as well as cover the new Avatar cards in it that I expect to do the heavy lifting. Links to each will be, as always, down below, and I've chosen an aggro, mid-range, and control brew to share with you, so you can pick the one that fits your playstyle best. Oh, and chuck us a like if you prefer these sort of no-filler run-throughs, and comment sandbags if you want more standard content on this channel. Doesn't tend to do as well as the Commander stuff I do, but I don't mind as long as some of you guys still want to see it. Let's start with the aggro deck, centered around the new enchantment Firebender Ascension. There was a lot of hype centered around this card, with many players speculating it will be a powerful addition to aggressive decks with plenty of attack triggers. Most lists are currently centered around Boros and Arabella, but I believe we can take it one step further. Mobilize is one of the best attack trigger effects to utilize with Firebender's Ascension, and going full Mardu provides us with the lion's pick of the best Mobilize effects in the game. In this deck, you want to play an aggro game plan, slamming aggressively statted creatures down before closing the game out with the value you get from doubling those triggers and the variety of haymakers you can pull out in this deck. In this list I've put together, you will find the best 2 1-drop creatures in Hired Claw and Stadium Headliner, which both can trigger Firebender Ascension the turn you play it, followed by other powerful Mobilize cards in Voice of Victory, and for the first time in proper standard, Mardu Siegebreaker. All these cards enable very quick ways to complete Ascension and will close the game out outright once you complete the quest. With this aggressive start, you might expect to run out of gas quick, but you'd be wrong. Thanks to this deck's ability to take advantage of Enduring Innocence, and even more excitedly, Sephiroth, who can very often flip over in a deck like this, and also brings an attack trigger himself. In this deck, we also utilize the 1 red mana our Firebender token makes through Burst Lightning to burn our opponent, but can also look to essentially cast Witchstalker Frenzy for free when our opponent tries to stabilize with a large creature. Thanks to the self-sacrificing nature of Mobilize, aside from Sephiroth, we also utilize new cards, Tolls of War, and Phoenix Fleet Airship to create more tokens. We also run Rotten Mouth Viper as a powerful game closer to cast cheaply with all the tokens we generate. With 2 playsets of Shocklands and Verges, Mardu has a great mana base already to support all 3 colors, and the sideboard is equipped with a variety of threats and comeback tools to handle all types of matchups. If you're looking for a fast deck that scratches that sacrifice itch, this might be the one for you. After being the previously dominant mid-range strategy, Golgari is set to return in a big way in Avatar thanks to the new Earthbending tricks alongside the already existing Demon card draw. The goal of this deck is to control the board in the initial turns of the game through efficient removal thanks to Heartless Act returning and well-statted creatures, before overwhelming your opponent through an army of land creatures and landfall triggers. Badgermole Cub, unsurprisingly, is the centerpiece of this deck for not only its synergy with Llanowar Elves, but is also the cheapest way to earthbend your lands. The lands we earthbend to aren't just generic forests either. They're not really something you might expect to see in a Golgari list. We have Festering Gulch, which deals 1 damage when it enters, and when it would die as an earthbent creature, will come back. Fabled Passage can also be cracked twice to ramp for extra lands. Fittingly, with all this land entering the battlefield too, we make incredible use of Iridescent Vine Lasher as a way to burn out our opponents just from them removing our land creatures. Earthbender Ascension also gives trample and +1/+1 counters once we complete the quest, which can be applied to not only our land creatures, but Demon Wall, which, alongside Unholy Annex itself, will allow you to drain your opponents out consistently, leading to some very high amounts of indirect damage for a mid-range deck. Beifong's Bounty Hunters is a 4/4 that, if removed, immediately creates another 4/4, which is fantastic for our game plan, and as icing on the cake, with all the earthbending we do to build up a board of creatures, Ouroboros comes in as an incredible payoff. This deck is tuned to beat out faster decks, but can still handle control thanks to Rise of Sozin, which not only stabilizes, but will extract a problematic win con from a slow opponent. We also run plenty of tricks in the sideboard to hate out slow matchups too. And all in all, Golgari, in my opinion, is poised to become an all-rounder, able to churn out ever-building and resilient pressure. And expect Earthbending to be a very prevalent theme going forward in it. Finally, for the slow methodological player out there, you guys have been treated to some brand new instant speed tricks in Lessons. Izzet has recently been the go-to aggressive color combination, but now, post-bans, is actually shaping up to be a terrifying control list, which unlike Azurius, is able to play almost entirely at instant speed now. This deck is centered around abusing the fact that most lessons can be cast on your opponent's turn and synergize well with other existing tricks. This deck runs 18 lessons in the main board, including counter magic, removal, and the real gem in Accumulate Wisdom, which in this deck is very often a draw 3 for 2 spell. One of the problems for control is always how and when it aims to close the game out. And unlike other current lists, which might look to run 7 mana or plus cards, this deck can take advantage of Eddy Merc Crab and the new Serpent of the Pass, which both can be flashed in at any time to apply pressure. If your opponent is dealing with your creatures, you can still attack their life, thanks to the inclusion of Monument to Endurance, which thanks to several new discard outlets in Abandoned Attachments and the new blue land, can be triggered very frequently on both yours and your opponent's turn. This is alongside existing all-stars like Meringue River Regent, Ill-Timed Explosion, and of course Rao, Crackling Wit, who in an instant-heavy deck like this can very quickly become an unremovable game ender if not addressed. In the past, Lessons have been historically a novelty card that was intentionally overcosted, but now they have been brought in line with modern Magic, and I really think they have a home going forward. Finally, in the sideboard, in true control fashion, we run alternative removal and threats, which we can chuck in for the right matchup, including Ran and Shaw, which present 2 4/4s that can be pumped as another avenue of possible attack. Give this list a go if you enjoy a reactive playstyle that can chip opponents down turn after turn. That's all for the decks. I'll be playing all of them live on stream, both here on YouTube and on my Twitch. Come check them out if you're keen to see them in action, and consider subscribing if you like card games.